There are moments in history when a nation decides it will no longer bow down to anyone, and that moment has arrived for India. For years, Washington believed it could pressure New Delhi into following its line. But this time, India didn't just say no, it said it loudly. And now, the world is watching. When the US Senator Lindsey Graham and Trump's former advisor Peter Navarro warned India, they didn't mince words. They said, if India continues to buy cheap oil from Russia, it will face consequences. And then came the second warning. If India dares to buy even one fighter jet from Russia, the US will hit back with tough sanctions. The message from Washington was clear: stay in line or pay the price. But instead of bending, India did something that stunned the entire global defense community. It stood up, calmly, confidently, and chose what was best for its own national interest. A recent Russian defense media report revealed something absolutely shocking. The Sukhoi Design Bureau, Russia's top fighter jet developer, sent a technical team to India. Their mission? To inspect the production facilities of Hindustan Aeronautics Limited, HAL, India's leading aerospace manufacturer. And what they found blew everyone's mind. According to their detailed report, HAL already has nearly 50% of the infrastructure needed to produce the Sukhoi 57, Russia's most advanced fifth-generation stealth fighter jet. That means India won't just buy the Sukhoi 57, it can actually build it right on Indian soil. This isn't just another arms deal. This is a historic transformation of India's defense capabilities. India knows the future of air power lies in stealth and speed, but developing its own fifth-generation fighter, the indigenous AMCA, Advanced Medium Combat Aircraft, will take time. So, India created a smart, short-term plan called the Transitional Force Multiplier Strategy. The idea is simple. While the AMCA is being developed, India will strengthen its air force immediately by deploying a ready fifth-gen platform. And the Sukhoi 57 fits perfectly. It's a temporary force booster, one that can double India's aerial strength within a few years. Russia's experts didn't just inspect HAL, they conducted a deep audit. They examined the assembly lines, engineering labs, machine centers, and composite units in detail. Their conclusion: India's aerospace industry is already Sukhoi ready. That means the factories that currently build the Sukhoi 30 MKY, one of India's frontline fighters, can easily be upgraded for the Sukhoi 57 program. And if this happens, it will mark a new chapter in the Make in India revolution. Initially, India planned to purchase around 54 Sukhoi 57 jets, roughly 3 squadrons. But the latest Russian proposal changes everything. India may now acquire up to 90 Sukhoi 57s. That's about 5 full squadrons of stealth fighters. And the twist? Some of these aircraft will be assembled right in India. Imagine this: fifth-generation stealth jets rolling out of Indian hangars, built by Indian engineers, powered by Indo-Russian technology partnerships. That's not just defense modernization, that's strategic independence. Now let's talk cost, because that's where the biggest shock for Washington lies. Russia's offer is significantly cheaper than what France or the US could provide. Moscow isn't looking for massive profits. It wants a deeper, long-term defense partnership with India. For Russia, India isn't just another customer, it's a strategic ally. So instead of chasing profits, Russia is giving India a deal that makes sense both militarily and economically. And that's exactly what worries Washington. Let's be honest, America doesn't want India to empower Russia's defense sector. Because if India and Russia become closer, the US Indo-Pacific strategy could start to weaken. India is seen as a balanced power between East and West. But if India leans too close to Moscow, it disrupts Washington's grand plan to contain both Russia and China simultaneously. That's why US senators and advisors keep issuing warnings and sanction threats. But what After Russia's revelation about HAL's capabilities, global defense experts are calling this move a geopolitical statement. India isn't just buying fighter jets. It's sending a message to Washington, Beijing, and every capital watching closely. India is not a follower. India is a power in its own right. And when a country of 1.4 billion people says that, the world listens. The Sukhoi 57, also known as Su-57 Felon, is Russia's crown jewel. A fifth-generation multi-role stealth fighter. It combines radar-evading stealth with super maneuverability and supersonic cruise capability, something even the US F-35 struggles to match. If India integrates this platform successfully, its air dominance in the Indo-Pacific region could skyrocket. Imagine Indian Su-57s patrolling the skies from the Himalayas to the Indian Ocean, a deterrent not just for one enemy, but for every potential threat in the region. This move has forced Washington to rethink its entire approach toward New Delhi. For decades, US foreign policy treated India as a partner of convenience. But now, India is emerging as a power of consequence. When India buys Russian jets despite US warnings, when India refines Russian oil despite global sanctions, when India stands firm in the United Nations while everyone else bends, it shows one thing: India isn't scared of pressure anymore. It has learned to play the global chessboard on its own terms. This move has forced Washington to rethink its entire approach toward New Delhi. For decades, US foreign policy treated India as a partner of convenience. But now, India is emerging as a power of consequence. When India buys Russian jets despite US warnings, when India refines Russian oil despite global sanctions, when India stands firm in the United Nations while everyone else bends, it shows one thing: India isn't scared of pressure anymore. It has learned to play the global chessboard on its own terms. India's defense modernization isn't just about firepower, it's about identity. A nation that was once colonized now builds stealth fighters. A country once told what to buy now decides what to build. And through this bold step, India has told the world, we will protect our interests through diplomacy if possible and through strength if necessary. While Washington debates sanctions, India focuses on self-reliance. While Europe fears economic losses, India invests in technology transfer. While China flexes its muscle, India builds real deterrence. This is not the India of the past. This is the India that believes in Atmanirbhar Bharat, self-reliant India. Every Sukhoi 57 built on Indian soil won't just be an aircraft. It'll be a symbol of defiance, of confidence, of a nation that refused to bow. America warned, Europe doubted, but India decided. Because sometimes true strength lies not in aggression, but in the courage to choose your own path. And that's what the new India has done. A nation that will protect its interests, respect its allies, and never, ever kneel before anyone. That's not just policy. That's pride. That's power. That's India. If you believe India deserves to stand tall as a global power, hit the like button. Share this video with someone who still thinks India can be pressured. And don't forget to subscribe for more deep dive geopolitical stories. And there's one more element the world cannot ignore: Prime Minister Narendra Modi's leadership. Whether people agree or disagree with his politics, one thing is undeniable: Modi has transformed India's global posture from cautious to confident. For decades, India was seen as a nation that avoided risk, avoided confrontation, and often played it safe on the world stage. But under Modi, that has changed completely. Today, India speaks firmly, acts decisively, and stands its ground, even when global superpowers try to apply pressure. That's why millions in India say, if Modi is here, then there is no fear. Because with him at the helm, India no longer hesitates to make bold choices. Whether it's buying oil from Russia despite US pressure, pushing back against China at the border, or negotiating defense deals entirely on India's terms, Modi's leadership style has brought a new energy to India's diplomacy, a mix of confidence, national pride, and strategic clarity. Even analysts in Washington acknowledge this shift. They say India's decisions today are guided not by external pressure, but by one simple question: is it good for India? And this Sukhoi 57 decision reflects exactly that: a fearless, interest-focused approach backed by a leadership that refuses to kneel, a leadership that believes India deserves to stand tall as a global power. Whether it's defense, diplomacy, or economy, Modi's message to the world is clear: India will decide its own path, India will secure its own future, and India will rise on its own terms. Because in this new era, Modi is here, so there is no fear.